Excuse me.
I was just wondering, are you gonna have the ball game on Sports Channel tonight?
Yeah.
Great.
You like baseball?
I like the Indians.
Sports Channel, bringing you the teams that bring us together.
Backhanded by Vizquel, throws to second one. Bayerga's relay, double play!
Sports Radio WKNR.
Albert Belle, the first man in baseball history.
WKNR says, thanks, Tribe. You've done Cleveland proud. It was a tough series, but losing doesn't mean you're out with us. You're our team. We're your Indians radio station.
Let's get ready to rumble! Wow! Touch of all time. Jose Mesa took it to the limit.
Oh, good hustle by Carlos Bayerga. Base hit. Eddie Murray has reached 3,000. Look at that play. Will you look at it? Do you believe these guys?
Channel 43, the home of Cleveland Indians baseball.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Music Norman Knight. You know, the last time the Indians won a World Series was in 1948 under the shrewd leadership of Bill Veeck. I know, I was there as a youngster. The last time they won a pennant, or their division for that matter, was in 1954 when they won an American League record 111 games. But mistakes by the lake became routine in the 41 years that followed. 4 decades of frustration for the Tribe and their loyal fans. A comedy of errors that had no one in Cleveland laughing. Was there an evil spirit haunting Municipal Stadium created by a curse cast by former manager Bobby Bragan, or from the trade of Rocky Colavito? Nah.
Swung on line down the left field line. Base hit.
Swing on this, strike three, the game's over. The Indians win it 3-2 in the 10th.
Lofton, this ball makes a running catch.
It goes, it's gone, home run.
Bayerga diving to his right, gloves, goes to second one. Vizquel leaping, throws to first, double play. On the track in front of the wall, leaps up, makes the catch.
Indian fans have waited 41 years.
And the Cleveland Indians are in the World Series.
You guys haven't seen nothing yet.
Cleveland rocks. The story of the 1995 Indians. No question, Cleveland has undergone a resurgence of late, highlighted this summer by the opening of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But this year, the real excitement in Cleveland had its roots in Jacobs Field.
It's an overdose of happy pills. I mean, everybody's smiling. It's a great mood. It's nothing that you would expect out of a city like Cleveland. There's many problems and hard times that they've endured over the years, but I guess it's part of the rebirth, the renaissance of the downtown, and I think a lot of people across the country are going to be jealous.
This has really been a story in baseball, that here's a city that was down, a city that was out,
a franchise that was down and out, and I think the two have mirrored each other. I think the rise of the Indians and the rise of Cleveland have sent a real good message throughout baseball.
But no one knew just how great a season it was going to be.
Hi, everybody.
Spring training 1995 had ace pitcher Dennis Martinez back in the fold.
There's the Indians.
To complement Martinez, the Indians acquired a bulldog from the Dodgers, Oral Hershiser, a master of postseason play and happy to be in Cleveland.
When I saw the facility when I came here to tour here, I go, I want to play here. When I knew about the city of Cleveland and the great people that live here, I said, this is a good fit. Family, franchise, and runs.
Kenny Lofton liked the mix of youth and experience, especially when the Indians picked up Dave Winfield.
We got Dave over here because last year we brought Eddie and we made him young again. We put some youth in him. So now we bring Dave over here to help put some youth in him.
This will either work or kill me, one or the other.
That's what they do on MTV, huh? And then he does this, like me on that, what's that movie? Wipe on, wipe off. Wipe on, where do you get this from?
Albert Belle put up some impressive numbers in '94, and he was modestly ambitious heading into '95.
Well, I expect for myself to be healthy where I can go out and play every day. And I know if I'm out there every day, I got a chance to hit 30 homers driving 100 RBIs.
I believe that we have the tool, we have the talent, we have the team that to win this year. And I think we're looking forward and we're going to do it.
Thank you.
After spending the first week on the road, the 4-3 Indians finally came home. May 5th, Jacobs Field was sold out, some 41,000 strong. Charles Nagy was the pitcher for the Tribe's home opener, and he took Minnesota in stride.
Got him.
And Albert Belle served up a sneak peek of things to come.
Hit well to left field, back to the wall, and off the wall. Baerga will score. He's being waved around by Jeff Newman. Albert Belle in the second with a double.
Even 39-year-old Eddie Murray looked younger than ever.
Lined up the middle, off the glove of Nagwa. Belle's going to score.
And they carried that 5-1 lead into the ninth, where Jose Mesa, heir apparent to the closer role, got his first save of the year.
Up the middle, Omar to Baerga, on to first, double play number 5, and win number 1 at Jacobs Field.
Two days later, the Tribe began a memorable 5-game stretch of May Madness, during which they twice made history. Game 1, down by 1, bottom of the ninth.
There's a drive, deep right field. Puckett is back to the warning track, to the wall, looks up, it's gone. Eddie Murray has tied the ball game.
Tied at 9 with Minnesota, and so it stayed. They played 6 hours and 36 minutes. They used 17 pitchers between them, 132 baseballs. Finally, in the 17th inning, Kenny Lofton.
2 or 3 times I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I struck out one time and I ground out another time, and I said, well, I'm gonna just try to hit this ball back up, right back up the middle, and basically that's what I did.
Lofton up the middle into center field, a base hit. It is finally over. The longest game in Indians history. The Indians win it in the bottom of the 17th, 10-9.
Two nights later, the next historic stretch began with Lofton.
Lofton with a drive to right center field. The ball is up and gone. Kenny Lofton begins the ball game with his first home run of 1995.
They say hitting is contagious. If so, Cleveland had the flu.
There's a drive to deep right. If it stays fair, it's gone. 3-0 Indians.
There's a high fly
8 runs before making an out to tie a major league record. But the Tribe was just starting to flex its muscle, and on May 10th, the Indians took over first and never looked back. It seemed like Cleveland just kept getting stronger, with another incredible streak in late May.
There's a drive in the gap. That'll be extra bases. Fastball hit high, deep to left field. Oh boy, he killed it.
The Cleveland Indians come back from a 6-0 deficit. They win it 7-6.
There is something magical. They've had so many come from behind wins, and I've never in my entire life seen or played with a team that hit so many home runs to end the game.
Long drive, deep right field. Back to the wall. It's gone. Home run, Sorrento. The Indians win. Unbelievable. The magic's back. The magic is back at Jacobs Field.
It's like New Year's Eve. When we win a ball game, it's an exciting time right now, and I think this city deserves it. They've waited so long for this, and I think it's very positive to see this city do well. That's why this city is the best baseball city in baseball.
There's a drive into shallow center. This ball is hard. I think
He got a hanger. Bye. Jose Mesa comes on as they win it 6-3.
That's crushed to deep right field. Gore snags it with one hand on
Tommy belts it. Deep right. Way back. Gone. The Indians have done it again. Jim Tomey with a game winner.
And there was no doubt about that one. Oh.
The fans wouldn't leave like they always have. You know, everybody that does it, they never leave. They make you come out, and I think it's just been a lot of fun. Every time somebody goes to the plate in the 9th or 10th or 11th inning, you always expect for something good to happen, and it has.
One night later, it happened again, as Tomey crushed another game-winning home run, all part of a 16-2 stretch that ended in mid-June, with Cleveland now holding a 7-1/2 game lead.
Welcome back to the All Sports Muckers Kenny's Kids press conference. It's time for questions from the audience, so Kenny, take it away.
We have a question over here.
What is it like playing in the major leagues?
It's fun. It's fun out there playing out there. Well, here in Cleveland, it's real fun now because the fans are very excited at what's going on, and I'm having a good time.
Good times for a great ball player, the man who sets the table, Kenny Lofton. Simply put, there isn't a better leadoff hitter in baseball today.
They want me to be the catalyst, the guy who starts things, and that's what I try to do, is to try to get on base, win and whenever I can and however I can.
Despite missing more than 25 games to injury, Kenny hit .310 this year with 149 hits. He hit .382 with runners in scoring position and drove in 53 runs. And he led the American League in triples with 13.
Lofton's got himself yet another triple.
But for all his offense, Kenny may be best known for his glove work. Easily one of the best center fielders in baseball.
I guess my role is just basically in the outfield is to try to cover as much ground as I can and control the outfield, because the center fielder is the captain out there, and try to go out there and do my job in the outfield.
What sets him apart from the rest is his speed.
Well, they come to expect plays like that from Kenny Lofton.
Kenny Lofton has tremendous acceleration. He saw this ball taking off for the gap, and look at the concentration. His eyes are focused right on the ball. He leaps and makes a fine running catch.
I really think Kenny Lofton might be the most exciting player in the American League.
Oh, one more thing. He steals bases, lots of them. He led the American League 3 straight years and was the odds-on favorite to make it 4. He's the Indians' chief, Kenny Lofton. June 19th was another typical night in Cleveland. The Tribe and Boston were tied, and Manny Ramirez was leading off the 10th. But it was also typical because a full house of fans waited in anticipation.
Somehow the baseball fans have come out. I mean, coming here in years past, we didn't have a whole lot of people in the stands here, but I don't know if it was the facilities that brought it out, but they expect certain things, I think, just from the way we played in the 2 years that we've been here, and we expect them.
I don't miss a game. When I finish up and close out, I go find a place where I can stand and watch the rest of the game because you know they're going to come back.
Bottom half of the 10th. Nobody out. 3-3 ball game. Well hit to right center field. Back is Tinsley to the warning track, to the wall. It's gone. Home run, and the Indians win. The magic is still here at Jacobs Field.
It is a magic place for them. When you have a big crowd, and there are always big crowds here at Jacobs Field, it pumps up the ball players. It makes the adrenaline flow. And, you know, the fans don't leave. They stay. They get on their feet in the 8th and 9th inning. And the fans have come to expect that these fellas are going to come through.
They're very special because they've rooted for a loser for a long, long time. And they have a lot of pinned-up frustration.
Don't you understand? 41 years, man. Before I was born.
I always remember that the Cleveland fans were there when we lost, and now they're here when we're winning, and that's the special thing about them.
41 years were due.
These fans anticipate events. They anticipate Mesa coming out of the bullpen to close the door. They anticipate Belle hitting a home run. They anticipate a 9th inning comeback. And when they do that, they show faith in the club, and then they inspire the guys to perform. They actually are calling the performance out of the guys' bodies.
I told these
That's a good one right there. That's going to be used.
I told these guys.
One day later, on June 20th, Cleveland reached 1 million fans, faster than at any time in club history. The leadership of Eddie Murray was a big part of Cleveland's year. He hit .323 and provided the kind of wisdom only a 19-year veteran can.
Eddie's the true professional. You know, it seems like whenever we need a big hit, whether a base hit, double, homer, Eddie stepped up and, you know, been that leader that, you know, we've had from him for the last 2 years.
There's a drive, deep right field. Puckett is back to the warning track, to the wall, looks up, it's gone. Eddie Murray has tied the ball game.
It's definitely been a big boost. Just, you know, I'll try to be like him, you know, just go out and play hard every day, and you know, whether we have aches or pains or not, just, you know, suck it up and continue to play.
Well, actually, that's the way it's been. If I just be me, things happened. I found out, I think, my first year playing, second year. I mean, there were guys that were looking up to me as a 21, 22-year-old, and I don't understand this. But it just said it was about the way I went about playing, and, you know, just little things that you did. You didn't have to go around doing a whole lot of talking, even though I find myself trying to, let's say, verbalize it more to the guys, because everybody's got to be on the same page.
And still another page in the record book beckoned for this future Hall of Famer as the countdown continued to career hit number 3,000. On June 30th in Minnesota, the magic moment arrived.
Hit. Base hit. Eddie Murray has reached 3,000 on a no-out single here in the 6th inning, and here comes the entire ball club out of the dugout to congratulate Eddie Murray.
As Eddie Murray becomes the 20th man in baseball history to join the exclusive 3,000 hit club.
For me right now, it's just a number. I hope to continue. I don't put a whole lot of emphasis on numbers, and I've never looked at 3,000 as a goal right there. So, you know, right now, once I'm done playing, I'm sure I'll sit back and go, wow, probably.
It's something that I think I'll cherish for the rest of my life, just because I was on deck and I had the best seat in the house.
There's only been 21 guys in the history of Major League Baseball to have done it. It's absolutely amazing.
Another veteran leader who time seemingly forgot, Dennis Martinez, just the kind of pitcher Cleveland was looking for.
When we wanted to add free agents to our ball club, we went for ability. Obviously, a starting pitcher like Dennis Martinez, we felt would be a guy that was going to pull down a lot of innings for us, was going to give us a lot of innings. He was a #1 starter, a guy you could trust in big games.
In his second year with Cleveland, Dennis posted an 8-0 record before the All-Star break. Not bad for a granddad.
He has tremendous command of his pitches. He has tremendous location with his pitches. Still has an average fastball, which is better than a lot of people in the big leagues have. He's got a variety of pitches, and he understands hitters and how to get them out.
Ground ball to second. Espinosa tags a runner, throws to first, and that's the ball game. And El Presidente has done it.
And baseball's active win leader with 231 did it good enough to land in his 4th All-Star game. The 62nd All-Star Classic took place in Arlington, Texas, where Manny Ramirez joined Martinez, Carlos Baerga, Lofton, Mesa, and Belle. But Belle peeled off from the group in the home run hitting contest.
Oh, he's gonna crush him today. Yeah, yeah, he locked in. Oh, look at that! Up in there, get up there, window. Oh, hey, B. That's upper deck, way up there. Yeah, hey, B.
Selective, and boy, did he select this one. Another second decker for Albert Belle. Home run number 7.
Hey, baby.
Woo!
Belle finished second in the deep drive derby, but in the game itself, this man excelled.
Second baseman, Carlos Baerga.
That's hit fair inside the line. And so Baerga gets his 3rd hit. He is 3 for 3.
And you're talking about one of the toughest outs in the American League. 2 straight years of over 200 hits, 20 home runs, and 100 RBIs. You just don't see that anymore.
The thing that drew me to him, other than his obvious physical talent, was that the way he absolutely enjoyed playing the game, and he didn't mind showing everybody he enjoyed it.
A 3-time All-Star, Carlos was the 3rd hardest man to strike out in '95. For the 4th straight season, he hit .310 or better, .379 with runners on base. Carlos does everything well, and that can be a problem.
It's very easy to overlook a guy like Carlos because Carlos is so consistent.
3-2 pitch on the ground, and Napier got a piece of it, but not enough. Lofton will score easily from second, and Baerga has his 2nd single and his 2nd RBI.
There's so many things that he does that when he does them, you just think, yeah, I can't believe he did that. He's a tremendous talent, swings the bat very, very well. He's a smart player, and he's a winner.
Well, I give credit to, to my teammates, because when you have a team like this, that everybody can hit, it's contagious, and everybody, go in there, get a base hit, you want to get a base hit too, and that's why the team is so special. You have 9 good hitters in this team.
And it's no surprise that Carlos was happiest about the team's success of the first-placed Indians.
Well, it means a lot. I work hard for this, and I know that I'm ready for it. I never win in the minor leagues. I never win here in the big leagues. And this is going to be my first chance, and I hope that we can get there, where we want to be in the World Series.
After the All-Star break, the first-place Indians began to pull away. They went 11-1, including their first-ever 4-game sweep of Oakland. Dennis Eckersley, meet Manny Ramirez.
Comes inside, high fly ball, deep left field. Henderson looks up, the ball is gone, and the Indians win the game. Manny Ramirez, a 2-out, 2-run home run in the bottom of the 12th inning. The sweep is complete.
Came in with a fastball and tried to jam him, and Manny just waylaid on the ball and just planted it in the left field bleachers. And X comment was like, I think this guy's going for a base hit. I throw my fastball in the jam him, and this guy is just swinging from his tail. That youthful exuberance came through, I think, as Manny see-ball, hit ball.
It was during that July 16th win over Oakland that Belle hit his first home run of the second half, just his 15th of the year. But there were plenty more to come.
Once I did the home run contest, I felt like I found my home run stroke, and just pretty much I've been doing it ever since the break.
2 days later, he hit the most dramatic home run of the year as Cleveland trailed the Angels 5-3.
Bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, 1 man out.
Nobody's left the ballpark. Everybody's still here. The all-time save leader against the Indians cleanup battle.
This is baseball at its finest.
In that situation there, You know, I had a pretty good idea. I mean, Lee Smith just going to go right after you. You know, he threw a couple balls, and I was looking for another fastball by him, and, you know, he got a slider out over the plate. I think it was a little bit higher than he wanted to, and just stayed back and hit it straightaway center field.
Line to center field. Back is Edmonds to the warning track to the wall. It's gone. A grand slam home run. The magic continues. The Indians win. Unbelievable. Eckersley on Sunday. Tonight, Lee Smith.
It's almost like you could see it happening. You know, as soon as they got one guy on base, the confidence started to build and pick up, and that's how it's been.
And what higher tribute is there to a sweet swinger than to gain snack food immortality with your own candy bar?
Walking around the press area today, they had the Albert Belle bar out there. You know you're a star when they have a candy bar named after you.
Albert Belle. It's one of the reasons why we're in first. You know, we eat a lot of candy bars.
I would not put anything in my mouth that had a picture on it that looked like this.
That's why Mason's throwing about 105 this year. He's been eating a lot of Albert Belle bars.
Yeah, that's why I eat a couple, you know, because, you know, it make me throw harder.
Well, Jose has good reason to be laughing. For after spending most of his career as a starter, he emerged in '95 as the best closer in baseball.
He went to the Dominican Republic this year and worked on that, being a closer down there for his ball club. And we said, Jose, you're the guy. Let's go get him.
And that's exactly what he did all season long, especially following a pivotal series in Boston.
Probably the defining moment for Jose, we were in Boston. It had men on first and second, and Mo Vaughn was a hitter. And we had Paul Ossenmacher warmed up for that eventuality that we got to Mo Vaughn, and decided if Jose was ever going to be a closer, he had to get people like this out. And so we rolled the dice. And he struck Vaughn out and closed the game, and really has done a tremendous job since then. So I think that was probably the defining moment as far as the development of Jose.
Mesa recorded a Major League high 46 saves in 48 chances to set a new franchise record.
You know, every time he comes out, especially when we get a lead, we pretty much know the game's over.
When you're closer, you got to do it. Okay, I got three guys to face. If they hit me, they hit me. But I'm going to get everything I got, and I'm going to try to get him out.
The ball game is over. Mesa with 2 strikeouts. He works a perfect 9th inning.
He throws the ball, you know, in the mid to high 90s.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Wow, what location, what a fastball.
That goes to show you how hard Mesa's throwing. That ball right by him.
And you throw a 93, 94 mile an hour sinker to the plate, and it's very difficult to hit.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
And he broke Dennis Eckersley's Major League record by recording saves in 37 consecutive opportunities, eventually reaching 38.
Ground ball by Erga, and Mesa has saved himself a record.
This is one Mesa who never plateaued. Jose Can You See is the best.
The first thing that put the staff in order was Jose Mesa, securing the stopper role so that the roles in the bullpen could then be set. And that made our bullpen outstanding because it took some great arms that were vying for the stopper role and put them into setup roles, and those guys performed awesomely.
Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Ossenmacher gets his 3rd strikeout.
And then you have a starting staff anchored by Dennis Martinez. And then you've got a Charles Nagy, who's a veteran big league pitcher, and a Mark Clark and myself, and a Chad O.J. having an unbelievable rookie year. Add a Kenny Hill. And I'd say I'd classify our staff as a very consistent, solid starting staff and an awesome bullpen.
In a year where they'd go on to record 51 come-from-behind victories and win 28 in their last at-bat, it was clear that Cleveland may have been down, but they were never out.
We don't just lay down. We feel like we can win every game.
Murray with a deep drive to right. This ball is gone. 473rd career home run for Eddie Murray. And what a fun run that must be to travel the bases knowing you have just won the ball game in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, the explosion of this baseball team offensively is anytime, any moment. So We're never out of a baseball game.
Here's a drive down the left field line. Well hit and out of here. All the streaks are extended. They're 9-0 in extra innings. They win for the 22nd time in their last at-bat, and it's the 7th time they've won on a sudden death home run. This one number 6 on the year for Alomar, and the beat goes on for the biggest story in baseball this year, the Cleveland Indians.
They're never out of a game, and I think they feel that way. And as you know, as the season has gone on, they've come from behind, and it's really reinforced what they feel. So I think they're very loose in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. They walk up there, if they're 3 or 4 runs down, it doesn't bother them.
Well, we never give up. You know, we always in there, you know, no matter if we are 4 runs down, we're going to come back. And we've been doing it the whole year.
Like Albert Belle on August 30th against the Blue Jays. 14th inning, tie game.
2-1 offering. A swing and a drive to deep left center. Way back. It is gone. Albert Belle has done it again. A 2-out game-winning home run here in the 14th. And he is being mobbed at home plate.
There's a thought when he comes up to the plate, not only with the team, but in the crowd. They sense when Albert comes up, they ring that bell, and these people are going crazy in the stands. They're waiting for it. And it's almost to a point now where they're expecting it to happen.
But really, could he do it again? The very next day, with the game this time tied in the 10th?
Bell lines one to deep left. Goodbye to the home run porch. Albert Belle for the 2nd night in a row with a game-winning home run. This time a 2-run shot down the left field line. And once again, a home plate celebration.
Everybody's excited. I think they were kind of in shock that it happened 2 days in a row.
Oh my God, everybody was there, you know, and there we go again. We were celebrating, hitting everybody, just jumping, and it was exciting.
Dave Winfield and I lockered next to each other all year, and we'd come in after our wins, especially the 27 come from behind wins in the last inning, or, you know, the late innings. We'd come in and we'd go, these guys don't realize this just doesn't happen. You know, we're ruining young guys' careers this year because they're going to go the rest of their careers, play 10, 12 years, and maybe never play on a team this good.
People talked all year about how good the Cleveland hitters were in '95. But what about the pitching staff?
Our pitchers had the best ERA in the league, but people, you know, didn't look at it.
The pitchers are not jealous of any of the PR that the hitters have gotten because there's no way we'd ever want to upset them. We enjoy them scoring the runs. We enjoy them hitting the home runs out and us getting the W's. We'll quietly go home and read the morning paper and see a W next to our name, and we don't need a headline. Just the W next to our name is fine.
Charles Nagy had 16 W's for the Tribe in '95 to tie Oral for the team lead. And he finished with a flourish, 6-1 in his last 8 starts.
He struck him out. Number 12 for Nagy today.
He's racking them up now.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jay Buhner, the pitch. Curve got it. You don't often see Jay Buhner look helpless at the plate, but that curveball had him twisting and bending out of control, and Nagy sets down the last 14 men in the ball game.
We thought that the possibility was there for us to have a strong pitching staff, and that really has happened for us with our starting rotation.
It took Hershiser a couple of starts to learn the hitters in the American League, but he did learn, and in the second half of the year, he was a solid 11-2.
As I see a hitter's reaction to my particular pitches, I can start to dissect where I think holes are. So in not knowing the league and facing the hitters, it took me a while to get that kind of experience.
Twice, Oral won 5 straight decisions, and the Indians went 19-7 in his 26 starts.
Ground ball could end the game. Flag to Toronto, and the Indians won it. A brilliant shutout victory for Oral Hershiser.
In the shadow of the offense, the solid starting pitchers had to be a source of great pride for the Tribe. Cleveland's success coincided quite nicely with the September opening of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So both Paul Sorrento and Wayne Kirby agreed to take us on a little tour.
What kind of music you listen to?
R&B.
Yeah? Well, we got some stuff over here you might like. We'll start here. These are called influence booths. The whole section's called The Beat Goes On. Now, here's what you can do if you want to hear the Muddy Waters influence.
Yeah, he's got Eddie Murray's hair.
Little quote about it.
Don't want to beat you, Kirk. Don't want to beat you.
That's a Chuck Berry suit.
Chuck Berry?
Yeah.
That look like one of Carlos Baega's outfit on the West Coast trip.
And this is Peter Lavender collected thousands of drumsticks from the concerts that he's been to, and this is just a selection of some of them.
That's a fan?
Yeah, a fan collected all those from concerts he went to. Got them signed by the people, by the drummer.
Wow. That looks like the bat I've been swinging lately. That's how big it feels. At least you're swinging one.
This is where we get all the free T-shirts and CDs and stuff.
I like them. They're like me.
This is where we work them right here. Just take what you want.
Thank you. That's pretty neat.
All right, so we're just supposed to put this on this Albert Belle credit card that we have up front?
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Two days after breaking Lou Gehrig's record, Cal Ripken Jr. brought his Orioles to Cleveland. There he witnessed another memorable moment for which Cleveland fans had been waiting for 41 years.
The 3-1 pitch. Right back up the middle. This will score two. Lofton will score. Mayorga around third. He will score. 3-0 Cleveland on the two-out, two-run single by Eddie Murray.
More than enough for the Indians, who wrapped up their first title since 1954, the earliest clinch in Cleveland history.
In the air, Tommy at third, and the season of dreams has become a reality. Cleveland, you will have an October to remember.
I can't see. But the bubbles in my eyes. This is how we do it. And on Friday night. And we do it so happy. And
Look at the chemistry here, and it's a wild bunch. I mean, you know, the best way I can describe it is we got semi-nuts, regular nuts, and just, you know, I mean, really, it's a group, and you look at it, people come in from the outside and they look at us, but we do fine.
Besides having a great ball team, I think we have a great friendship. Everybody just know each other really well. You know, we go out together, we have dinner together, and that's really shows you the character of the team.
We have a good, camaraderie of guys who feels comfortable with each other and feel we can say or do anything to each other in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I think you're one of the driest ones.
Yeah, I am, because I'm pretty quick. I've been dodging these guys. There's a little man right here trying to put ice on me, but I'll be all right.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. It's a great feeling, you know. I've been here for 6 years. I know these people waiting for a long time, and I think it's a gift for them. You know, we do the best we can. We play here. We come back here the next day, try to win every day, and it's a great feeling. We want to go all the way. Now we got 3 more steps to go.
Just how good was Cleveland's offense in 1995? Well, consider this. There were 8 300 hitters in the starting lineup. Guys like Manny Ramirez, a first-round draft pick in 1991, who hit 308 in 95.
Well, we got to come for the money. Manny's a great hitter. He's going to be a great hitter for a long time.
He's a good hitter. He's a very patient hitter, and he has a chance to be as good as there ever has been in this game, I believe.
13th round pick Jim Thome hit 314 at the plate, where he likes to make a point.
It's just, it relaxes me. If you stand up and you're hitting and you're tense and you just stand there, and you know how tight you get? Well, what that does, it relaxes all the muscles in my arms and my upper body, and it just relaxes me when I come back. That's why I do it.
Back goes Hosey, still going back on the track, at the wall. It's gone, a home run over the center field barrier. And that went over the 19-foot part of the wall.
Catcher Sandy Alomar also joined the 300 club in 95 and hit 588 in his last 5 games to do so. It was that kind of team.
We got a lot of guys that are very talented that swing the bat well, and it's contagious.
Omar Vizquel did not hit 300, though he did have 144 hits. He also hit 6 home runs and had 29 stolen bases. But what made Omar so valuable was his play in the field. Fact is, there isn't a better shortstop in baseball.
When we step on the field, I just want to be part of the defensive part of the game. You want to have the ball hit to you all the time, and that's when your job get easier. You know, you don't have to think that much about situations and stuff like that. It just becomes like a routine every day.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Omar Vizquel. He gloves. He spins 360 and got it.
Hard hit ball, shortstop, backhanded by Vizquel. Bobbles it, throws, gets him.
And a leaping catch this time by Vizquel. Could be 2. Barehanded by Vizquel. Double play.
Vizquel vacuums and gets him.
Vizquel, terrific play for the out at second.
You know, I just love it so much right now. I want to stick around in Cleveland. We have one of the best teams in the American League, and we got a great place to play. We got one of the greatest teams, and you know, I really enjoy being here.
Meanwhile, Albert Belle was making a shambles of his modest preseason goals. He got his 50th double in September, and folks had to ask, could he possibly hit 50 home runs as well?
Albert can get as hot as you'd ever want to see anybody get, and go on a home run binge that just, you know, it just amazes you.
Belted to deep left center. Holy cow, is this crushed to the upper deck. His second grand slam in 1995.
Ripped to left field. Does he have enough? Yes, sir. Touch him all time for Albert Belle. Unbelievable. Beyond unbelievable.
As far as Albert, I think Albert's probably one of the most focused and consistent players I've ever played with.
That ball is tattooed way back in the highway.
Belle, who had 14 home runs at the All-Star break, hit 17 in September to tie Babe Ruth's Major League record for that month.
That's a lot of home runs hit in 1 year. He did it in 1 month, but I don't think anything that Albert does should surprise anybody because he has that strength. He's a good athlete, and he has the intelligence to do it. And when it all comes together, it's a real special thing to watch.
When Albert's on, he's on, and we had that feel when he started hitting his home runs. You know, it was like nothing, no one could stop him. And it was great to just see him stay focused as he was when it came down to him hitting those 50 home runs, because it was like what he had 10 to go with maybe 2 weeks ago, and that's kind of tough to hit 10 home runs in 2 weeks.
On the second to last day of the season, he did it.
Swinging a drive, deep left, way back, gone. Albert Belle, the first man in baseball history with 50 home runs, 50 doubles, and what a joyous jogger on the bases for Albert Belle.
31 home runs in August and September. An unbelievable year for Albert Belle. With 5 games to go, Cleveland had 95 wins. They won their next 4. Could they win 100?
Late in the season, when we clean the division, we say, well, we got a shot to win 100 ball games, so let's see if we can do it.
You know, we started to realize that the playoffs were getting really close, and, you know, we have to be playing for something here, and why not play for 100 games? I think that was a pretty good goal for us.
To get 100 wins in a 144-game season would indeed be miraculous. But Lofton, who'd win the stolen base title for the 4th straight year, led off the game with his 53rd. And the big bats then took over.
Carlo, could drop in center field and does. A base hit. Lofton scores. They'll hold Vizquel 1-0 Indian. 3-1 pitch lined into right center field. A base hit. Vizquel scores. Espinosa scores. Albert Belle on his way to third. It's 3-0 Indians. Still nobody out.
The Tribe scored 6 in the first and built a 17-7 lead. Was there ever any doubt?
Fly ball left field. Burnett's coming over.
They've done it. 100 wins for the Indians in 1995.
It couldn't have been a more perfect regular season, and it couldn't have been done without the loyal fans of Cleveland. 2,842,725, a franchise record.
You know, it's been a Cinderella story for us, and you know, to end this season, you know, with the 50 homers and then go into the playoffs and win a World Series would be even better.
And so Jacobs Field played host to the first postseason game in Cleveland in more than 4 decades. A best-of-5 division series against the Boston Red Sox, who took a 4-3 lead in the 11th inning. But Belle's been here before, and Boston had good reason to worry.
Here's a smash to deep left. This ball game is tied.
Half that time to throw 7 shutout innings against Boston the following day. Oral's 3-hit performance set the stage for Senior Slam. And Jose preserved the 4-0 lead with a 1-2-3 ninth.
The Indians are up 2-0 as they win a vote at Jacobs Field.
The series moved to Boston, and Jim Thome moved to adjourn.
Pulled down the right field line, hooking. Fair ball and a home run for Jim Thome. Cleveland is quickly up 2-0.
The Red Sox and their long-suffering fans never had a chance as the Cleveland carnage continued, and from every corner of the lineup. 8 runs by the 6th. Meanwhile, the Cleveland pitchers held Mo Vaughn and Jose Canseco hitless in the series, 0 for 27. The final score was 8-2 as Cleveland celebrated its first ever trip to the League Championship Series.
I'm enjoying this one, but I think this locker room is pretty subdued because it has a mission, and it realizes that we really haven't won anything yet, that we've gotten over the hump of dealing with playoff pressure, and we performed under it, and now we have to go to the next level.
That next level took the Indians to Seattle, where the Mariners had just played an emotional series with the Yankees. Seattle fans were psyched, but the Indians might have been psyched out by rookie pitcher Bob Wolcott, who walked the bases loaded in the first, then somehow, someway, escaped.
Thome drives one, beautiful stop by Cole. He's got him. They're out of it. The kick does it.
Wolcott's magic act proved to be the difference as Seattle won 3-2.
We let him off the hook in the first inning, and that was it.
Point taken. So in Game 2, the Bulldog never gave the Mariners a chance, pitching 8 innings of 1-run, 4-hit baseball. And Manny Ramirez got 4 hits by himself, including 2 home runs.
Going back, and he'll watch it sail out over the wall for Ramirez's second home run of this game. He is perfect.
Cleveland won 5-2, and now was heading home.
Anytime you can go into another team's place, especially this time of the season, and you can come out of it with a split, going back home is very important. We had to fight for everything we could get while we're here, so we'll take what we got and go.
And with no reservations, the city was waiting, hot with pennant fever.
No time in Cleveland! #1, baby, #1!
It was a momentous occasion for Cleveland fans and for the Indians themselves. But they'd have to beat the best, and Randy Johnson was on fire. Fortunately for the Tribe, Charles Nagy was matching Johnson pitch for pitch, and trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 8th, Lofton faced Johnson with a runner on second.
And this one is slashed to the hole for a base hit. Kirby around third. Coleman charging. There'll be no play at the plate. The game is tied.
So it remained until the 11th, when a 3-run homer by Jay Buhner gave Seattle a 5-2 triumph. Down 2-1, Cleveland called on the Wild Thing, Rick Vaughn from the movie Major League. Cleveland was inspired and went on the attack in the first inning.
And he hits a high drive deep right center. Away back. It is gone. 3-0 Tribe on the Murray Blast.
With Albert Belle stuck on the bench with a sprained ankle, both Murray and Jim Thome came up big for the Tribe.
He delivers. There's a high drive, deep left field. Back it goes. It is gone, a home run. Jim Thome, an opposite field home run. The Indians lead it 6-0.
But then near disaster as Slider, the Cleveland mascot, slipped and fell.
He was up on top of the wall out there doing his dance between innings and then fell.
Slider's scary slip could have sapped the spirit from the fans, but fortunately, they had Ken Hill, who pitched 7 innings of shutout baseball. With the Tribe up 7-0, Jacobs Field awaited its first league championship victory.
1 strike away from evening the series. The 2-2 to Rodriguez. Got it. O.J. and Embry combined to strike out the side of the ninth. Hill is the winner. It now becomes a best 2 out of 3 series for a trip to the World Series.
Well, Slider did survive, and his support in Game 5 must have somehow given Hershiser quite a lift.
Now the 1-2. Got him. 8 strikeouts for Hershiser.
Trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th, Cleveland put a runner on for the suddenly red-hot Jim Thome.
A swing and a drive. Deep right. Away back. It is gone to the second deck. And the Indians now lead it 3-2. What a titanic blast by Thome.
Though Seattle threatened in the 7th and 8th, the Cleveland bullpen persevered, and the Tribe won Game 5, 3-2.
3-2 delivery. Fly ball, deep center field. Back goes Lofton, still going back. On the track, he makes the catch. The game is over. And the Indians are 1 victory away from the pennant in the American League.
Back to Seattle for the critical Game 6. Cleveland turned to El Presidente for a line score item veto of the Mariners' big bats. Seattle countered with the big unit, Randy Johnson, and they both pitched scoreless ball until the 5th, when Lofton hit away.
And he hangs in and slashes one to left for a hit. Could be a play at the plate. They're waving Espinosa home. Coleman's throw is not in time. The Indians have the lead on Johnson and the Mariners.
They held that lead into the 8th before getting another boost from Lofton.
He gets this bunt down. It's a hard one, though, and Johnson disdains the play at third base and then can't get him at first. Runners at the corners with nobody out.
The Tribe had found a crack in Johnson's armor. Seattle would be doomed by Kenny Lofton's speed.
It gets away. Heading home is Amaro. To third is Lofton. They have no play. And now here comes Lofton all the way. And he scores. He never stopped. Kenny Lofton made this inning. Beating out a bunt, which for almost anyone else would have simply been a sacrifice. Stealing second. And then racing all the way in from second as the ball got away from Wilson on either a wild pitch or pass ball.
A 4-0 lead in the 9th. No problem for Mesa.
Buhner grounds one to third. A long throw is in time. And the Cleveland Indians, after a 41-year wait, are in the World Series.
Feeling great. I didn't know what to do. Go hug Kenny Lofton or hug Carlos or go to the mound. You know, I just look up in the sky and say, thank you, God, for the opportunity you gave us to be where we are right now. And thank you because everybody's healthy and everybody can be in the World Series.
Finally, it was time for the 91st Fall Classic, Cleveland and the Atlanta Braves.
Programs, World Series programs. Get them while I got them.
Cleveland fans showed their support in Atlanta, and Oro pitched a solid first game. But Greg Maddux crafted a masterful two-hitter as Atlanta took Game 1, 3-2. They also won the second game when Javier Lopez snapped a 2-2 tie. 4-3 was the Game 2 final, but the Indians had 3 at Jacobs Field on the horizon.
I think everyone's glad that we're going home. Now we can see how really good we are when we go there and play them here.
The World Series back in Cleveland, a city in love with its tribe. 41 long years had passed, and the past was now forgotten.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I never thought this would ever happen in my lifetime.
It's nice to be here. In fact, my dad had tickets to the Game 5 of the 54 series and didn't get to go, so this is really special to be here with him tonight.
We're at home. We're at Jacobs Field. This is where the magic is, and it's going to happen right here.
Indian fans were more than ready for Game 3, and the Tribe took a 5-3 lead into the 8th. Then, in the top half, the unthinkable happened.
The 1-0 pitch is hammered into left center field. It gets down for a base hit. The Braves have taken the lead.
Undaunted, the Cleveland fans kept up a brave face. They'd come back to win here 50 times in '95. And in the bottom of the 8th, with runners on the corners, Sandy Alomar took a step toward 51.
On the first pitch, he hits it between McGriff and the bag. The game is tied. Kirby, the pinch runner, to third. Stopped there by Newman. Alomar on his way in with a double, and he pumps his fist as he gets there.
Tied at 6, and incredibly, Mesa would pitch a full 3 innings with plenty of help from his defense.
Hit hard, and Perry scoops it up, preserving the tie. Perry just in, and what a play he made, and what a time to make it. Up the middle, Baerga's at least able to stop it. Can he throw him out? Yes! Bouncing ball to Baerga. Vizquel 1, Perry 2, and now they give themselves another chance to win.
Carlos Baerga led off in the bottom of the 11th.
Baerga smacks one into right center field. This is going to split the outfielders and go to the wall. Baerga doesn't run that well, and he's content to stop at second base.
Cleveland fans could feel it. A walk to Albert Belle, and it was up to Eddie Murray.
I guarantee you, he's sitting fastball here and trying to go.
He lines it into center. Here comes the pinch runner, Espinosa. Grissom fires to the plate. The Indians are back in the World Series.
Cleveland had its first World Series victory in 47 years. Before Game 4, Indians legend Bob Feller looked to bring the Tribe a bit of luck and caught the outside corner in the process. Well, it worked at first as Belle blasted a 6th-inning home run to tie the game at 1. But Atlanta prevailed 5-2. So Cleveland called on hometown boy Joe Walsh to shake its funk in Game 5, the final game at Jacobs Field, where life's been good in 1995. The first pitch came from Columbia, the Space Shuttle Columbia, and touched down perfectly in center field. Cleveland rocked like never before. It was now or never. All this and the mighty Maddux on the mound. But Maddux walked Vizquel with 1 out in the first, and Belle gave every indication that tonight belonged.
And he hits it in the air down the right field line and into the corner, and just like last night, gone. Same spot.
Belle's home run lit a fire under Cleveland. Maddux was no longer invincible. And with the next batter, that fire went to 4 alarms.
Hello. Ooh. And Frank Foley steps in between, and now both dugouts will empty.
Our back was against the wall, and a lot of people think about a person with their back against the wall kind of being pinned and scared, and maybe at times we were, but once the home run goes out and once Eddie gets knocked down, I think, yeah, now I started thinking about a prize fighter that just kind of got knocked down and kind of got woken up like, hey, I'm in for a brawl here and I'm ready to fight.
Hershiser and Maddox are very calm in that whole thing. Two choir boys in the middle of a riot.
I just asked him, hey, were you throwing at him on purpose? And Greg said, no, I was trying to jam him. And I said, well, you're better than that. Kind of in a connotation meaning, you know, if you're going to come into somebody, it doesn't have to be at their head. And I know he probably wasn't trying to hit Eddie and hurt him, but he definitely was trying to knock him down. This guy, he can throw a ball in a teacup. So the ball, you know, the teacup was a little higher than I would appreciate being thrown at my player.
But Atlanta flexed some muscle of its own and tied the game at 2 apiece. Then, in the 6th, the Indians put runners on the corners and with 2 out, turned their hopes over to Thome.
And it's lined back through the middle to give the Indians the lead. Belle goes to third, 3-2.
Next, Ramirez.
That one's hit into right field to make it 4-2 by Ramirez.
He'd lost just 2 games all season, but Greg Maddux had never pitched at Jacobs Field. Ahead now 4-2, it was up to Orel to maintain the lead. Hershiser had been saved by a double play ball in the 5th. Now in the 8th, with a runner on first and nobody out, he latched onto another.
And that's a liner caught by Hershiser, throws to first. They got him for the double play. What a play!
Well, there's a lot more emotion going on in my body than I show, and I'm trying to keep it all pinned up and use it in the right way, but I knew I only had 1 hitter left after that play with Mesa coming out, and I knew it was Bologna coming up, and it was like, I was just yelling, take that, take that. The crowd rose to their feet after the double play, and right then, all of that sound energized me completely. I felt like it was the first inning again. I had that much freshness back in my body, the exuberance. And then to strike him out and hear the crowd absolutely go nuts and Sandy have his fist go across his body, it was a fantastic feeling.
Fantastic also described Orel's 8-inning, 5-hit performance. And now, in the bottom of the 8th, Thome looked to get some insurance.
In that situation with us being up 4-2, I had nothing to lose, so I was trying to hit the ball out of the park is what I'm saying.
To deep center field where it's 405 and gone.
When I got in the dugout, then I thought, man, you know, I just hit a home run in the World Series and I hit a bomb. To do something that helps your team win is just a special, special feeling.
Very special, as Ryan Klesko blasted a 2-run homer with 2 out in the 9th. But Mesa held the 5-4 lead.
Back to Georgia.
For Thome, the Tribe, and Cleveland fans everywhere, it was a moment to be cherished. For when the series did move back to Georgia, Tom Glavine was waiting with a 1-hit masterpiece, a 1-0 victory. Dave Justice accounting for the game's only run. But for the sensational Omar Vizquel and all the Indians who performed so heroically for 159 games in 1995, it was a year of wondrous achievements.
This has been one of the most exciting seasons for any team in baseball. I think it's gonna be hard just to tell, you know, somebody like in 2010, you know, the kind of lineup that we have in 1995. These guys are able to do really weird stuff, and you know, just coming back from behind, like I don't know how many games we did, 20-some games or something like that, winning the game in the last at bat. It has been just an unbelievable season for me or for my teammates. I don't think anybody on this team can forget what kind of talent and what kind of team we have this 1995 season.
And when the Indians returned to Cleveland, proud owners of their first pennant in 41 years, they were greeted at the airport by an outpouring of love, followed by a traditional parade and a fantastic rally, all from fans who wanted them to know just what a special year it really was.
You guys are the greatest fans in the world.
We showed that we've got the greatest fans. We showed all of the world that this is the greatest fans in all of baseball. This is the baseball city of the 90s.
And for a team that lost the World Series, for you people to be out there at the airport that late at night, that cold, that'll show you some class.
If hard work, pride, and talent gets you back to the World Series to win the World Series, this bunch of guys will do it for you.
We gave you our hearts, our intensity, our desires on that field, and we laid it all on the field, and you gave it back, and we thank you very, very much.